Okay, good afternoon. Injury update is, Tevin's going to be out. You guys saw that for the, just couldn't get him through with the ankle. And so he'll be out, and we'll see where that goes for next week. Got a lot of guys coming back, though, which is good on the line and, and so forth. Got some guys questionable, so we're positive about those guys for the game. And you guys saw that Brisker went to IR, and the question is why now? We tried to get him past the protocol. We kept having setbacks, and we just feel like it's best for us to take a step back and for him to. It's always about the player's health and safety, and that's why we did it. And so that's where it is, and we're hopeful that he'll improve it as we go. Pleased with the team this week. Obviously with the change. On the offensive side of the ball, I thought Thomas did a really good job of bringing the guys together for this plan, getting them ready to perform on Sunday. Coaches and players. I really see a lot of collaboration between the groups, and again, it happened before, but I did see it more and more this week. Guys tightening it up and getting together, so I was pleased with that. And then right now we're in our 48-hour preparation. We're focused on our preparation, focus on this competition for this Sunday. Our division record right now is 0-0, so that's what we're focused on, and got a rival coming in here and putting our best foot forward and, being at our best when our best is required, and it's required this Sunday. And with that, I'll take questions.
I don't know, with Jaquan, I know you're not obviously the person that supervises in-game concussion clearance and all those things, but when a guy is cleared to return to play in a game and then misses 2.5 months afterwards, what needs to be done with the process to create better safeguards?
Yeah, I don't have that medical degree that you're looking for there, but I would say this, that it does happen. I've seen it happen over the course where guys come in the next day and are have symptoms when they didn't have it that day before. So again, we're still learning about a lot of these things and doing what's right. And I think the most important thing is the player's safety.
He's somebody who football is so important to him. How do you try to help him through this where he can't do probably the thing in life he wants to do?
Yeah, I just think he's going to have to put that passion into study and he feels good and stay inside of it. Stay inside football and stay in this growth in terms of the growth mindset and be able to study the game, look at the games, look at our games, our scheme and how we perform during the week, and I think that's how he can stay involved.
How big of a boost is it? You mentioned it briefly, but to get the 2 starting offensive tackles back here.
Yeah, it's huge, right? Those guys have a lot of experience. They have a lot of the continuity's there, working with each other, next to each other there, and so I think it's important that you have that. And those guys have played well. Darnell's played well. Braxton's played well. So we just got to make sure that the whole group, 5 equals 1 there, and plays all together during the course of the whole game.
How have you seen the energy? Sorry, how have you seen the energy change this week in practice with Thomas now in the offense?
Yeah, I think it's, after you have, the weeks that we had 3 weeks where we didn't perform the way we wanted to, and I think that it's a big energy boost. It's a boost, a shot in the arm, and I really believe that the guys are working to perform well, and that's evident in the practice. We had a really good fast Friday today, working on the red zone, but you could feel it all the way throughout the whole building.
Would you be willing to tell us who's stepping in for Tevin? Is that something?
Bates.
It is Bates.
Yep.
Matt, one of the phrases that your offensive players have been using this week is mastering the game plan. When they say that, obviously that's something that you guys emphasize. What does that mean to you in terms of what that requires to accomplish?
Yeah, I think you got to segment it into the days. You learn the different segments of the game plan by day. So when you go to Wednesday, you're first and second down, and that's motion shifts, blocking points on the perimeter. It's all those things, route disciplines, play action pass, screens, all those things, and you learn those that day. And you have to learn that, and then you got to stack that away and then continue to do a good job with that on the next day, Thursday. Then you're packing in now your 2-minute, your third down, your protections, the route disciplines, and I think that's just ongoing. Then the next day, obviously, is red zone, and you're constantly cleaning up all those things to put together a final game plan. And that's what the guys are talking about. They're meeting afterward, now to talk about the route disciplines. They have done some of that before, but even more. So I just think being on the same page and really mastering your position. And I told the guys after practice today is that being at your best means that you're ready to go and execute all the plays, all the calls that are called during the course of the game.
With the volume of all that for the quarterback, obviously a rookie trying to absorb all that and figure it out. How do you sort of help Caleb along to understand the investment needed for the quarterback to master it?
Yeah, that's the nature of the position, right? You know, so he's the guy who takes command of the huddle and makes those calls and has command of the whole offense. And you know, he's got to study more than anybody. And you know, and the guy's got to help also at their position of how they're going to execute that particular route or that particular scheme. So it's important that it takes everybody to be able to execute on Sunday at a high level.
Matt, when you look at everything that Matt LaFleur does in terms of calling plays for that Packers offense, what makes him such an effective play caller?
Yeah, you know, he's done it for a while now. You know, we went against each other when he was back at Tennessee. I do believe that he's grown in that capacity. I do believe he has good weapons, you know, on the outside. I think that's beneficial. The tight end's a really good player. The protection's really solid. They got some good offensive linemen up there. And then the addition of the runner. You know, the runner really puts him as almost a run-first team. You know, that really develops, you know, those guys up front to be able to do the scheme. I think their offensive line coaches are really good. And I believe that they want to stay ahead of the sticks. And he calls it that way. And you know, but there's also the explosive side of it where he has explosive plays. You know, I believe they're 3 in runs and 10 in passes and explosive plays. So, you know, they have that side of it too. So he utilizes the whole field when he calls a game, and he's creative too. So I think he's done a nice job there.
I think Scales is the only guy in the building who's ever beaten the Packers. Does that come up during the week when you talk about the rivalry and talk about the hunger?
Yeah, it does. It does. You know, it's not where we want it to be. You know, obviously the last 10 they've won the last 10, and that's been stated. And you know, we're looking to change history, and that's an important thing that we rally around. And it's one game for us. You know, it's one game, but we understand where the history is, and we have to be better there. And we'll play on Sunday for 3 hours, and we're excited about this competition.
You mentioned with the questionable guys that you were optimistic. With Tez specifically.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll go Sunday?
Very optimistic. Yep, we're good there. Yep, I feel good about it.
What's the remedy for the false start issues that you guys have had throughout the year?
Yeah, you know, it's about cadence, right? It's about everybody being on the same page, and it's all that. You know, I know our penalties are middle of the pack, you know, in terms of overall team. I understand that, but again, you know, there's been false starts on a lot of teams, but they overcome them. That's the key. Is number one, don't have them. If you do, we got to overcome them, and it's about just having the cadence down for everybody.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep.